to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome to Vlogmas. My name is Madison. I am a first year second grade teacher, and I've been using this YouTube channel just to document my entire teaching journey thus far. And this year has been full of many ups and downs, but it has been a great year, and I can't wait for you guys to follow along for the rest of my teaching journey on here. For today's video, I thought it'd be really fun just to do a sit down chit chat, get ready with me, and I asked you guys over on Instagram. If you don't follow me on there, I will leave it down below. I asked you guys a couple of days ago what your assumptions were about me, and I've been seeing this kind of going around everywhere, just people asking, you know, what do you assume about me? And it's really funny to see people's assumptions about you because some of them are true, but a lot of them are way off. And so I thought I would just address those here while I get ready. So I have my makeup right here. I have my phone with all the assumptions on it, so I will just be reading those as I go. First of all, I just want to say I got a lot of really sweet assumptions, just people saying I assume you're a really good person and that you're a beautiful human, you're so fun to hang out with, and like, that's so nice. And thank you for those really sweet comments that I got. I'm probably not going to say all of the makeup products that I end up using in today's video, just because I am using the same products that I've been using, and I have posted a few get readies with me before. And so if you're curious about what products I'm using, I will link a get ready with me here so that you can click it, and I talk about the products that I'm using in there, and they're the same products, so I don't usually switch up my makeup too much. If you see me kind of looking past the camera, it's because I have my mirror behind the camera. Okay, the first assumption that I got says, I assume you are a workaholic. That is not true. I'm definitely not a workaholic. If you know me, you would know that I am pretty laid back. I think that work is really important and I love my job, but I definitely would not consider myself a workaholic by any means, because to me, a workaholic is someone that, like, all they do is work and all they care about is work. And I am definitely not like that, and I've said it before over on my Instagram. I think it's really, really important to have like a work-life balance, just because, you know, at the end of the day, work is just work. It's just a small part of your life, and it's really important not to get too caught up in it and have your world revolve around it, because I just don't think that's healthy. And I think that's why some people can get super stressed out, because they do get so caught up in their work, which is great. I think I have respect for you if you're a workaholic, honestly. I just honestly have never been like that. Like, I work when I'm at work and then I chill when I'm at home, and I've always had a good balance between the two. So no, I am not a workaholic. So weirdly enough, I've been getting a lot of questions about what I eat, a lot of requests for me to film a video on what I eat, and I can film a grocery haul on what I eat, but I don't eat super healthy. I'm not like super into nutrition as much as I am into working out. I wish I was into nutrition more, but I'm just not. Just because I've tried so many times to eat healthy, and it just never works out for me because I love food, I love carbs, and so I can never stick with it. I mean, I am really interested in healthy eating, and I wish that I was able to eat healthier, but it's just, I think it's something you have to really have a motivation for and like be passionate about, and I just don't have that right now, at least not in this season of life that I'm in. Maybe one day. But this person actually assumed, I assumed that you aren't too particular about what you eat. So yeah, that would be true, I guess. I pretty much eat whatever I want, but I do have to work out on a regular basis. Otherwise it does catch up with me. So sometimes I feel like I kind of work out so that I can eat whatever I want, because if I didn't work out, then I would be like 500 pounds, because I truly eat like I should be 500 pounds right now. I hope one day to eat a little bit healthier. When I have kids, I would love to be a good influence on them and you know, make them healthy meals and healthy dinner. But I definitely need to do that for myself first. So if you guys have any advice on how to, you know, start that journey, how to start eating healthy, because I truly think it's something that takes a lot of time and a lot of commitments, and I'm just not there right now, but I would love to be maybe one day. This one is kind of funny because it said, I assume that something major or something really important happened to you that inspired you to be a teacher. And that is not true. And some of you may know that if you've been following me for a while, because I have mentioned it before that no, nothing major or profound happened to me that made me realize I wanted to be a teacher. You know, most of the girls that were in my education program, they all knew they wanted to be a teacher ever since they were a little girl, because their mom was a teacher and they grew up decorating her classroom. I don't know, just like stories like that. And I don't really have that many teachers in my family. My uncle's a teacher and my sister-in-law is a teacher, but other than that, I don't have that many teachers. And it was not something that I knew I wanted to go into forever. I was in my 3rd year of college when I started to really think about it. Of course, like lots of girls, I thought about being a teacher growing up, but it just was never anything that really stuck, because, you know, all the negatives that come along with being a teacher were like the only things that stuck out in my mind. But I will say I did have kind of just like a self-reflection moment in my 3rd year of college. I just kind of had like a talk with myself. I was a business major, an HR major, and I just was not enjoying it. And I saw everyone around me like really enjoying their majors and the classes they were taking. And I was like, am I missing something? This is not fun. I did not like my classes. I didn't like what I was studying, and I wasn't even excited about graduating. I wasn't excited about going into that career. So I was like, I feel like I'm doing this wrong. I feel like I should be having a major that I'm excited about. So I did have kind of like a sit down talk, and I do remember that night in my apartment, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, okay, what can you picture yourself doing that you would really enjoy doing? And I don't know why, but I like closed my eyes and I pictured myself in a classroom teaching, and it was something that had never really hit me before, but I saw myself teaching. And I was just kind of like, whoa, like I would love to be a teacher. I think that would be so much fun. And it was something that made me excited to graduate and like have a job. And so I literally went to my guidance counselor the next day and changed my major from HR to elementary education, because I knew I wanted to be in the elementary setting. And yeah, then from there I just ended up loving it. So yeah, nothing super profound, but I guess I did have kind of like a self-realization moment there, which I think a lot of people have in college. I assume, I got a couple of these. I assume you were a really good student and worked really hard in school, and I assume you got straight A's in college. No. No, sorry to break it to you. I did not get straight A's in college. I'm pretty much like a solid B student. Throughout high school and college, I wasn't bad at school by any means, but I was never like an A+ student, 4.0. That just wasn't me. I wasn't like that in elementary school, middle school, high school. It just wasn't me growing up. You know, looking back on it, I do kind of wish that I put more effort into school, especially high school growing up. I was just more concerned with the social aspect of high school, I felt like, and I just didn't care as much about my grades. But looking back, I wish I tried a little bit harder, got a scholarship, and all that. But you know, at the end of the day, I was good at school and I did my best, and you know, I graduated college, and that was always my dream. My dream was always to graduate college. I just always had so much respect for people that had a college degree. And so I didn't care if I got a 4.0 when I graduated. I just wanted to graduate, and I did. So I'm so proud of myself. I never held myself to those expectations. I think it's great if you do hold yourself to those expectations to only receive A's. I never did. That just wasn't me. But no, definitely not a straight A student. I got a couple assumptions saying you're not strict, you're a really flexible teacher. Yes, I would say that's true. I definitely don't think I'm too strict of a teacher. You know, last year coming into the classroom mid-year when I had so many behaviors, that was definitely the strictest I had ever had to be. Just because I had to be strict. There was no other way to go about it because the behaviors were so bad. So I had to really lay down the law, which I think was really good practice for me because my student teaching experience was total opposite. I had like no behaviors and I just never really had to be super strict. So I think walking into my own classroom, I would have been in for it. But since I had that experience mid-year with a really tough classroom, it gave me that backbone that I needed to be a strict teacher when I need to be. And definitely just not let kids walk all over you. That's really important as a teacher. It is hard to find that line between friend and teacher, but it's really important that you find it because you just can't let kids walk all over you. But you know, you still want them to love you but also respect you. So I think that is something I pride myself in finding this year. I feel like I have a really good balance with my class, that they respect me and they see me as Miss Campbell, my teacher, but they love me and, you know, also see me as a friend and someone that's there for them, which is sometimes really hard. But you just set those expectations from the beginning of the year, and I just make sure that they know I mean business. But I'm not strict. I'm just not one of those teachers that is just like straight-faced, monotone, like, and it definitely has to do with primary too. You know, in second grade, you know, they're just so cute and you can't help but just be in a good mood all the time around them. And so no, I'm a fun teacher and I like to keep things light. And you know, I think kids, you never know what they have going on at home, so I like to be that warm, safe space for kids when they come into school. I want them to see their teacher smiling at them when they walk in the door and just feel warm and welcome when they walk in. And that's kind of like my teaching philosophy, I feel like. That's always something that I admired in teachers growing up and something that I would look for in a teacher. So yeah, I'm just not strict. I definitely lay down the law when I need to, and I like demand respect on the first day of school, and then on obviously, but not too strict. So I got quite a few that said you're always happy, you have your life together, you always have everything together, you're confident in everything you do. And no, and absolutely not. I mean, yes, I am happy, but do I have my life together? Am I confident in everything I do? No, definitely not. I think it's important, guys, to remember that social media is a highlight reel. You know, even YouTube videos, even though I do like to be vulnerable on here and show you guys the real side of me, but I still think it's important to remember that you guys will never truly see every aspect of someone's life on social media. Just because people aren't going to share every aspect of their life, and even if they do, you never can get a full grasp of who someone is just over a screen. You know what I mean? So, you know, sometimes I do find it hard to 100% be my full self on camera, just because there's so many layers to a person. You know, I'm not happy all the time. I don't have my stuff together all the time. I'm not perfect, you know, and it's not comfortable to show that side of you to thousands of people watching you, but I'm working on it because that's what I would want to see. I would want to watch someone be totally vulnerable and totally themselves, and I think that's what we all admire in people. So I'm working on that. But no, I don't have my life together. I mean, I would definitely say I am at a great point in my life. I mean, I think it's really easy to get caught up in the negatives of your life if you think about them a lot. But I like to take a step back sometimes and look at my life from an outsider's point of view, and I am very lucky. I mean, I have like my dream job. I graduated from college, which was always my dream, and you know, I'm living with my best friend, my boyfriend, and we're both very lucky to have each other, to live, you know, on our own, and just, you know, when I look back at, you know, the big picture, I'm very, very lucky. So I do always try to remember that. But I would never say that, you know, I'm perfect and I have my life together all the time, 100% of the time. I definitely have good days and I have bad days. I've actually been having a tough couple of weeks. I just get in these headspaces, like negative headspaces sometimes. In the past couple of weeks, I find myself being negative more than positive, and I hate that. And I try to kind of like rewire my brain when that happens. And it's just kind of like a funk. I get in it and I get out of it. And so no, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't have my life together, guys. I know it seems like I have it all together with my first year teaching, and I get comments all the time like, how do you have it all together when I'm struggling so hard? I'm struggling too, and I'm sorry if I'm not showing that, and I'm going to work on showing my struggles and just being more transparent, because I know that's what I would want to see. I'm definitely not perfect. I have been struggling this year a lot, not only just with being virtual, but with many other things, just internally, and just how I feel about myself as a teacher. And to be honest, I haven't been feeling too great about myself as a teacher this year, and I don't know if that's because we've been virtual, or really what it is. So I've been working on some things within myself a lot this year, and you know, that doesn't always come across on camera because I don't always want to talk about that. So yeah, that kind of went on a long rant, but all of that just to say, nobody's perfect and we all have struggles. Every single person has something going on in their life, and just to, you know, give people grace and be kind to people, because you never know what's going on in someone's head and how they're feeling about themselves or about their life. So all that to say, be kind to others because nobody's perfect. I assume that you want your boyfriend to propose to you soon. This is funny. I get questions like this all the time from strangers on the internet, family, friends, and it never ends. I feel like once you've been in a relationship for like over 2-3 years, people are like, when are you getting married? It's like, chill, guys. I mean, basically, here's the deal. Kyle and I, we've been together for almost 3 years. However, we are not in a point in our life to get married right now. He is in his 3rd year of medical school, meaning he is still a student. So when people are asking, well, why doesn't he at least propose? He does not have an income right now. I am the only one who has an income right now. And so do I expect him to buy me a diamond ring? No, absolutely not. And I'm not going to put that pressure on him to buy me a diamond ring right now. He has a lot on his plate. He's in medical school. He has a lot more to worry about. And so how medical school works, he has 4 years of school, so unpaid. He's in school. And then once he graduates, he will go into a 4-year-long residency. So he does get paid in residency. So I always tell people, ask me then. I got a couple assumptions saying, I assume you hate teaching secondary. I assume that you would never teach high school. No, that is not true. Well, at least the first part. I don't see myself ever teaching high school just because I just never saw myself doing something like that, and I feel like I look like I'm 12, so I would just get walked all over in high school. So I don't see that happening. However, I have mentioned this before, I have always kind of thought about teaching middle school one day. I student taught in 5th grade, if you guys know, and I loved it. And honestly, when I was an education major, I always said my dream grade to teach was 5th grade, and I was one of those that loved upper elementary. And I still love upper elementary. I just ended up getting a job in 2nd grade for the past couple years, and I love it. And I definitely still see myself one day teaching upper elementary and possibly going up to 6th grade. I don't know if it'll happen, but I have always thought about it and I would love teaching 6th grade. I don't know if I'd go any higher than 6th grade necessarily, but I have always thought about teaching 6th grade, and I'd probably either do like ELA or science or like a reading class of some sort, but definitely not math because you know me, I can barely do 2nd grade math. I'm not doing 6th grade. So I got two different assumptions. One said I assume you don't like to drink or party, and the other one said I assume that you like to party. So I would say more along the lines of no, I don't like to drink or party. I definitely had my phase in college where I would go out, drink, party, all that, like many people do. But I have realized the older I've gotten that alcohol just does not sit well in my body. It does not make me feel good, and not just the next day, like a hangover, like immediately after I drink it, I don't feel good. And so I actually decided this year that I am just kind of done drinking alcohol because it never makes me feel good. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, the slightest amount, or if it's just a glass of wine or just a beer, it still never makes me feel good. So I personally am just not a fan of drinking. I mean, I am definitely an introvert, I would say. Huge introvert. If it were up to me, I would just stay home forever and like never have to socialize. But you know, that's not realistic. If I find a good group of people, I do love to go out and socialize with people. But to me, honestly, I can have just as much fun sober than I can drinking. Sometimes more fun whenever I don't feel the pressure of drinking. So nope, I am not a big partier, not a big drinker. Never really have been. I mainly just did it for the social purposes. I never truly enjoyed going out to bars and drinking. I was never really that girl. Alright guys, that is all the assumptions I'm going to read today. I finished getting ready. I was just in the mood to do my makeup today. I don't do my makeup like this ever, so it's sometimes just really fun to play around with eyeshadow and lipstick and stuff like that. I have no plans today, so I'm just gonna be wearing this at home just for fun. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got to know me a little bit better. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my future Vlogmas videos. I will be vlogging every single day of the month of December, and other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.